Flaming Sword here, back at it again, once again, and today, people, I wanted to showcase my latest deck profile, and it might look the same, but there is a couple of changes I made to it. I ended up partaking in Out of the Box Gaming Set Championship, and got 3rd place from there, so I wanted to showcase this deck, because this is still like the sweet spot version of the Emerald Steel deck that I like, which it is the Emerald Steel Bucky discard. I know people hate it, but I'm the one that loves it, because there's a lot of synergetic crap that makes it really good. So to kick things off, I will start out by having 4 copies of the 1-drop Diablo Maleficent Spy. Look at the hand and then being able to determine if I want to shift or anything else. But in all honesty, it doesn't matter because I'm going to shift it anyway. I'm just going to make them discard the card and just do everything else. I also run 3 copies of the 1-drop Robin Hood. Some decks run 4 of it, and then 2 of like the 1-drop Flint, but I don't like the 1-drop Flint because it seems unnecessary to try to shift to guarantee the quest aggressive. But I took it out because there was one too many that it would taken care of. I'm also running 4 copies of the Bucky, the king of all Floodborns. Bucky Squirrel Squeak Tutor is the main one that there is a lot of Floodborns to utilize with. Makes Floodborns, any other color combinations, work well. So for the shift line, for all the Floodborns, I do run 4 copies of the 3-drop Diablo. Underratedly insane. The moment that if you get like more than 1 Diablo and have them both exerted, one draw equals draw equals 2 cards. And it's really insane on how this deck can actually perform and just be able to go outright crazy with the game. Next up, I also run 3 of the Shift Robin Hood. And so far, it's working pretty well with 3. It helps out a lot. Allows to shift, discard, challenge, gain 2 lore, draw a card. Does it all. Next up, I run 3 of Aladdin. I don't shift it with it. I don't run the 1-drop to shift it with it because I'm only running 2 of a location. But it helps out because it's a Benja, but repeatable item removal for any Ruby Sapphire decks or any decks that run items. Next, Floodborn, I run 2 copies instead of 3 of Flynn Rider, his own biggest fan. I've seen decks that run it at 3. My opinion, it's too risky, in my opinion, to where you're going to be a little bit more on the uninkable count and just going to be stuck in the long run when you get mulliganed, and after the mulligan you get a bunch of inkables. You might as well just scoop at that point, even after the mulls. I also run 3 Snake Jafars. Really good, underestimated, because I also run 2 of the Hidden Cove, because then the moment that I have Hidden Cove to have Snake Jafar move to a Hidden Cove, making it a 4/5, hit easier with the other problematic characters, and draw a card off of it from during the challenge. So then that way, I don't have to worry about having less cards in hand to keep the engine going. For the last Floodborn, I run 4 copies of Beast Tragic Hero. Now, Beast Tragic Hero is insane, allowing you to draw an additional card if there's no damage onto him, and if there is, +4 strength. So adding it with the Hidden Cove, and it has the damage, it makes it an 8/6 to be able to quest for 2 and hit hard, while also dodging of characters like Madame Medusa, Brawl for the Diablos, and moving the Hidden Cove over, along with Ursula Deceiver Evolves, which I will be showcasing right now, and I run 4 copies of her. Really good, my opinion, able to sing twice, such as for the cards to sing are the four Sun Chill. Sun Chill, I've seen people run like 3 or 2. I don't like it. I'd rather be able to discard their hand twice and guarantee to have that. So there's 4 of that. 4 Let the Storm Rage on to deal 4 damage while drawing 2. And then having 4 Strength of a Raging Fire. And being able to deal double damage from like having 3 characters to deal 6. To take out 1 character or even more to get rid of like Tamatoa, Hiram, Flavisham, and all that. For mirror matches, I do run 2 Ursula Deceivers. I've seen builds that run 4 of it or 3. I like the 2 because it's the sweet spot. Because you want to see it, but you don't want to see it right away or when you don't need to. I'd rather see it when the time is right. So the reasoning of 2 is just then that way, when they think I don't have the 2-drop Ursula to get rid of like their B prep, their friends on the other side, or their grab your swords for the mirror match, Ursula Deceiver, snipe it away. But I don't always hit the be prepared, because in all honesty, it's an uninkable, and by getting rid of the inkables like the friends on the other side, not only you prevented them from drawing 2 cards to net off 1, but you gave away their inkables in their hand, so they will be stuck with the uninkables. Now we're on to the damage bases. I did had to modify this because I was seeing a couple of them a bit too often and had a couple of issues to where wider board states aren't a big deal anymore. So I do run 2 Baboom instead of 3 that I had it before. I ended up with the 2 just to fill at least 2 of the Ursula Deceivers, and instead of running a 3rd Hidden Cove, I took a copy of that out. Because it seems to be the sweet spot for Hidden Cove to be at 2. For Baboom, it was just because it's good to see it when you don't have the buff key. So in that way, when you Baboom it, you can get rid of any of the characters, banish them, stall out the turns a little bit. Stall it out a little bit till you get to the Bucky. Next one, this is going to be like a bit unnecessary to some folk, but I do run 3 Along Came Seuss. My reasoning is I rather have less characters to challenge 1 big deal character, like a Tamatoa or a Hiram, Flavisham, Maui's, Madame Medusas, any of the problematic characters that I can't get rid of, I rather just hit. And also to be able to hit a castle and only use 1 character to challenge into the castle to finish it off, rather than just trying to have multiple characters to take out 1 singular one. So I highly recommended that. And the last damage-based one, I do run 2 Grab Your Swords. The reasoning of the Grab Your Swords, I used to have it at 3, and I was, at the time, a hater for an Along Came Seuss. But as decks became less and less wider board state and quest aggressively, Grab Your Sword wasn't really that much impactful. But so did Big Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy, but I don't run the Big Tink because I'd rather have my ink cost curve go up to 5 minimum, which makes it a lot easier to diverse how you manage your hand, how do you manage everything. So with the 2 Grab Your Swords, deal 2 to each opposing, gets rid of the smaller threats while you take care of the big deal ones in the process. Last but not least, 3 copies of this 1 card. Really good. I wish it was low cost enough to where Ursula Deceiver of All can sing it twice, so you can make it really good. I run 3 copies and we don't talk about Bruno. Now, my reasoning that I wish that Ursula Deceiver of All was able to sing this card is so that way, sing it with the... Let's say Ursula Deceiver of All is able to sing it. You see, we don't talk about Bruno. Bouncing a 1 character back into her hand, discard at random. Ursula, Deceiver of All, scenes it again, bounce another character and discard at random. So when they have 0 cards in the hand and you bounce one to get rid of one, you're able to discard their hand entirely while having no characters on the board and being able to take out the threat assessments. So it helps out with that kind of a concept to where if they have 0 cards in hand, but 1 character out, you just play We Don't Talk About Bruno, bounce it, discard, and automatically removes it, which gets rid of like Mufasa that, or any effect that says that whenever they are banished, which it bypasses it, because instead of being banished to get their triggered ability, instead it's bounced back into their hand and then discarded completely to the point they won't have anything, and keeps the control on the threat assessments. That's just where it's at. If you guys want to hear about how my matches went or anything like that, there's going to be 2 videos that are going to be coming up. But one of them is only going to be collaborating a little bit with a friend of mine that just wants to do the deck profile interview because I got third place with this deck. I'm highly excited for that because that'll be the first time to get deck profile interviewed and be looked at as a professional player, as a competitive player, on top of being a professional one at the same time. So the second video would probably be explaining about how my matches went, the reasoning of my wins and losses during that set championship. If you want to hear about that, comment down below and I will make that happen. So thank you guys for enjoying this video. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this type of a content. Subscribe it if you subscribe, and then click on the bell to never miss a single of our my videos. So hope you guys enjoy this. Flamin' Sard here. I am out.